Want to speak real Turkish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at turkishclass101.com.
Merhaba, hi, I'm Seda. Welcome to turkishclass101.com. Today we'll talk about 5 sentences you want to hear when going out with someone. Okay, let's start. The first one. Seni tekrar ne zaman görebilirim? Seni tekrar ne zaman görebilirim? When can I see you again? Ooh, that's always nice to hear. Yeah, of course. Okay, the next one, especially really good to hear, I think for women, I don't know, for men as well. Harika görünüyorsun. Harika görünüyorsun. You look wonderful. Who doesn't want to hear that? The third one is çok güzel bir akşam oldu. Çok güzel bir akşam oldu. This was a great evening. Wow, that's always good. And for both of you, I think, not just to hear it, but just to experience it, if it was a great night, you know? And the fourth one is senden hoşlanıyorum. Senden hoşlanıyorum. I've got a crush on you. Yeah, I think this is maybe before going out. You know, you say that, then you go out, but you'll never know. Sometimes you hear on the day, right? Okay, and the fifth one, the last one is, this is too much, but biz birlikte olmak için yaratılmışız. Biz birlikte olmak için yaratılmışız. Biz birlikte olmak için yaratılmışız. We are meant to be together. Wow, this is so epic. Okay, I don't know which one would you like to hear. You know, I would prefer maybe the first one and the second one. You know, when can I see you again? Or you look great. These are more casual sentences. The others are, and the third one is also okay, but the others, maybe not for the first date. I don't know. Okay, what do you think? Which one would you prefer hearing it when you go out with someone? Please leave some comments below, and I will see you the next time. Bye. Bye. Bye, plant. Bye. Merhaba, hello, I'm Seda. Welcome to turkishclass101.com. Today we'll talk about 5 most common adverbs of frequency. And here comes the first one. It's her zaman. Her zaman. All the time. Her zaman. Onur'la her zaman tartışıyorsunuz. Onur'la her zaman tartışıyorsunuz. You and Onur fight or argue all the time. The second one is asla. It's never. Asla. Never. Asla boğazlı kazak giyemem. Asla boğazlı kazak giyemem. It is, I can never wear a turtleneck sweater. Actually, that's true. I can never wear turtlenecks. They're too tight for me. I feel like I'm suffocating. And the third one is, let me check. Bazen. Sometimes. Bazen. Bazen. Sometimes. Seni bazen kıskanıyorum. Seni bazen kıskanıyorum. I sometimes envy you. I don't know if you can say that to someone. Generally people think that, but don't say that, but you may say it. Okay, the fourth one, it's nadiren. That's the sound we make actually. Nadiren. Nadiren. Rarely. Sabahları nadiren çay içerim. Sabahları nadiren çay içerim. I rarely drink tea in the morning. It's an interesting sentence actually, because we, the Turkish people, love our Turkish tea with the, tiny glasses of, we call them ince belli. It's like a narrow waist. It's funny, but its shape is like a woman's body, so it's like ince belli, we call it. I think it's funny. Anyway, generally Turkish people drink Turkish tea in the morning, so this sentence is not very true to Turkish people, but some people drink coffee as well, or drink nothing. So, the fifth one, the last one is genellikle. Genellikle. Usually. Genellikle. Genellikle sabah erken kalkarım. Genellikle sabah erken kalkarım. I usually get up early in the morning. So that's true for me. I usually get up early in the morning, around 6:30 or 7, so I really like it. I'm one of the early risers. So that's it. What do you think about our most common adverbs of frequency? Please leave some comments below, and you can ask anything. See you guys. Bye. Hello. Merhaba. I'm Seda. Ben Seda. Welcome to TurkishClass101.com. Today we'll talk about how to greet people in Turkish. So the highs and hellos are the basics, the most basic stuff in any language, and there are some nuances to learn to sound more like natives, and today we'll talk about those small nuances as well. So I'll give you a lot of tips. The first one, the basic one, is merhaba. Merhaba. Hello. Merhaba. The thing is, Turkish, the modern Turkish is coming from Old Turkish, the Ottoman Turkish, which is a mixture of Turkish, Persian, and Arabic. And some words we have from Arabic, and merhaba is one of them. In Arabic, it means hello again. The word is marhaban. I'm not sure if I'm saying it right in Arabic, and it means the root of this word means to widen, to have a relief, and to say merhaba actually means that I wish you relief, I wish you wellness. So it's come from that word wideness, that deep breath. So next time you say merhaba, think about that and send your good thoughts to other person. The other thing about merhaba, sometimes we use it as merhabalar. Merhabalar. It's something like hellos or highs. You say it if you see more than one person. You say hey, hellos, hellos to you. It's something like that. It's okay if you say just merhaba, but generally we say merhabalar, hi to you all. It's like that. And another trick about merhaba, generally in our daily languages we don't focus on that H word that much. Turkish language is not from the throat. We don't speak from the throat as in Arabic or Hebrew or languages like that. So we generally just smoothly say or don't say the word, the sound of, we don't make that sound H. So merhaba is like merhaba. Merhaba. Merhaba. I would just say merhaba. So next time you hear it, don't think about, where's that H? We just ate it. Okay, that's it. The second one is naber. Naber. Naber. It's something like what's up? Hey, what's up? It's very, very casual. You wouldn't say that to, your, boss or your elderly relative or someone you don't know very well. And it's actually two words combined in one. The original one is ne haber, which means what news. So it's like, what news? Hey, what's the news? What's up with you? The meaning is like that, but instead of saying ne haber, we just swallow some words and we say naber. Hey, naber. And this is not just for face-to-face conversations. Sometimes if I call someone, I say, hey, naber, instead of saying, if he or she is my really close friend or really, my mom, my, cousin, my husband, I would say just, hey, naber, nasılsın? It's instead of merhaba. Or you can say merhaba, naber, also okay. So, the third one is, it's a long word, selamun aleyküm. Could you get that? Actually, if you're from Arabic speaking countries or from Israel, you would say it easily because this is from Arabic, and since the Arabic and Hebrew is language-wise very similar, I think the Hebrew word for this is shalom aleichem. So it's the same word. Shalom aleichem, selamun aleikum. So let's say it slowly. Selamun aleikum. Selamun aleikum. And the English translation would be something like, may the peace be upon you. May the peace be upon you. It sounds a little bit epic, I know. The way we use it, actually this is more like when you go to the villages or when you go to a conservative place. You have to say it back in reverse form, don't forget that. If someone says selamun aleyküm to you, which means may the peace be upon you, you should say aleyküm selam. Like it's I really like this one actually because someone is sending you their peace and it's like you are holding a mirror and reversing the words and you are saying may the peace be upon you. Thank you for sending me the peace and I'm sending it back. So about the religious background of it, selam, the word selam means peace. Actually Islam, and the person who believes in Islam, which is Müslüman in Turkish, are the same words. These words are coming from the same root, which is S-L-M, which means peace in Arabic, and shalom, which means peace in Hebrew, also the same. So that's why this has a little bit of conservative religious feeling behind it. It doesn't, for me, it's not necessarily a religious saying. I don't know if you like it. Some people don't like it. I like it. And if you like it, use it. If you don't like it, it would be really rude when you hear it if you don't turn it back. If you don't say Aleyküm Selam, that will be kind of rude. You don't have to say this by yourself. You can just say Merhaba. But if someone says Selamun Aleyküm, you would say Aleyküm Selam. And this gesture is generally how you use it. You put your generally right hand on your heart and you say Selamun Aleyküm and they say Aleyküm Selam. So that's it. The third one is Actually, you know this one because it's selam. If the previous one is too complicated for you, then you can just use selam, which means peace. Just say selam, selam, selam, like peace. And you can mix it with other words. Merhaba, selam. We can just use it together. Or selam, naber. It's like peace, what's up? We use it like that. This is more like more modern, and we use it without the religious or conservative context. And all the people, like everybody uses it. Selam, selam, selam, selam. You can use it on the phone like selam, selam, hey. So don't forget to use selam. Okay, the next one is, this is a very specific time. Hello. It's good morning. It's günaydın. Günaydın. Günaydın. Günaydın. Good morning. So, you know, you use this whenever you use good morning, of course in the morning. Just know this, günaydın means that the day is bright. So it's actually two words. Gün means day, aydın means bright. So you put them together and it makes günaydın. It's like all the greeting words in Turkish. It's like a good, you are sending a good vibe, you are sending good wishes, like may your day be bright, may your day be blessed, or maybe in, you know, the peace be upon you. It's like all, you are sending good wishes and you are getting good wishes. It's very important to send these good wishes to other people. So next time, if you get up and or you are outside in the morning and you see someone, you say günaydın. Okay, the next one is tünaydın. Tünaydın. Good afternoon. Tünaydın. This is a weird word that we don't actually use a lot, and I don't use it actually. So you may be asking why you are using it, because we use this word as a as a joke. Because tün, this is like the previous word günaydın. Tün, this one is tün plus aydın. It makes tünaydın. It means that the literal translation is this: may your roosting time bright. So it's funny. I don't know why we say it, but maybe may your roosting time bright. Because it's funny, we are not using it anymore, but it's a classical joke of Turkish teachers. If you're at school and you're like, when you're listening, you're getting a little bit sleepy and you put your head on the desk, and for example, the teacher calls my name, he says Seda, and I'm like, what's going on? And the teacher says tünaydın Seda, meaning that you were sleeping and you just woke up. It's like günaydın, like as if it's in the morning, but I'm sleeping and it's not in the morning and I'm not in my bed. So it's like tünaydın, come on, don't sleep. So we use it in this context instead of saying tünaydın. But it's okay if you say tünaydın. Yeah, I'm not sure. If you say tünaydın, it would be proper, but it would be a little bit weird. So don't say it or say it, I don't know. Anyway, the other one is iyi akşamlar. İyi akşamlar. It's good evening. İyi akşamlar. So iyi means good. Akşamlar means evenings. It's in plural form. So you say this obviously in the evening time. You use it, not the you wouldn't say this if someone is going to bed. You would use it, if you're at work and you're going home, and you would call your colleagues and you would say, hey, iyi akşamlar, see you tomorrow, yarın görüşürüz. So, iyi akşamlar, and this is a format. You can use iyi akşamlar or iyi. The next one is günler. It's like good days. İyi günler. İyi günler. Good days. You can say this in the morning, in the afternoon, till it's dark. You can say iyi günler. After it's dark, you would say iyi akşamlar. So, good days and good evenings. And if you are going to sleep, if someone is going to sleep, you would say iyi geceler. İyi geceler. Good nights. İyi geceler. Again, it's nights. Geceler. It's plural in Turkish. So let's repeat it. It's iyi günler. Good days. İyi akşamlar. Good evenings. And iyi geceler. Good nights. So you can use it, for example, for good. You want to say, like, someone is going to holiday, and you would say good holidays. That's the literal translation. In Turkish, you would say iyi, again good, tatiller. İyi tatiller. Good holidays. İyi tatiller. So that's how you say your greetings or goodbyes. And a little bit more old school or conservative way to say these things is to use another word. Instead of iyi, good, you would use hayırlı. Hayırlı. Hayır means like good deeds. Hayırlı means blessed with good deeds. It has a religious feeling in it. So I wouldn't say religious, but like with good intention. In Turkish, some words have more. When I say conservative, it's not a. It's hard to explain, but it's more like a more spiritual. That's a better word. It's more spiritual. So when I say hayırlı günler, I wish you from my heart hayırlı, like blessed days. Let's say hayırlı günler. Hayırlı günler. Blessed days. So this hayır, you may know this word. Hayır. Hayır means two things. One is no. And the other is hayır, like good deed. So in this case, hayırlı günler means good, blessed days, not no days. Okay? So keep in mind. And as iyi günler or iyi geceler, iyi tatiller, you can use hayırlı with other nouns as well. Let's see. Hayırlı geceler. It's like hayırlı geceler. Hayırlı geceler. Blessed nights. Or hayırlı akşamlar. Hayırlı akşamlar. Like blessed blessed nights. And I think that's it for now. And before I go, let me give you some gesture-wise tips about how Turkish people greet each other. If we know someone very well, we kiss them. Yeah, we kiss them on both cheeks. I wouldn't say kiss. Like if this were a person, like this is a head, we make the kissing sound, and we are like we touch our cheeks to each other, and while we are doing it, we can pat on the back or we can hug, but not two, not one, not three. It's just 2 kisses on the cheek. And be careful about this. If you don't know each other very well, you may just shake hands. You know, if it's a business meeting and they would say hey, hey, and you wouldn't kiss, you would just shake hands. This is a, you know, if like with close friends or family, or if your close friend is introducing another close friend, you know, the environment is really friendly, and you may kiss the person. And so be careful about the handshake. Some religious or conservative people may not like it. If you're a man and shaking another man's hand, it's okay. If you're a woman and you are shaking another woman's hand, it's again okay. But if they don't like it, they would pull their hand back, and don't be offended by it. It's just their way of conserving themselves, I think. So if you don't know the person, if you know it's a total stranger and you don't know how they are, how they live, you would just wait for a second. After you say your hellos and your greetings, you would wait a second, and you can watch if they are, you know, showing their hand. If it's a woman, if you're a man and if it's a woman in front of you and she is, you know, getting ready to shake your hand, it's okay, then you can shake it, or vice versa. If you're a man, if you're a woman and that's a man in front of you, like if he's showing his hand, then it's okay, you can shake it. If not, you know, don't push it, don't offend any people, just respect, and you can just do this. Always, it's okay. Put your right hand on your heart and you can say merhaba or selamun aleyküm or just selam. Then it's okay. Then you don't offend anyone. So, and one more thing, actually, this is very new. I'm not sure about the context, but some young men and male teenagers, they do this. They shake their head on each other. I'm alone here, so I can't show it, but they, when they're together, it's like kissing cheeks, but they don't kiss. They just hit their foreheads like that. I don't know why they do it, but I've never seen a woman doing it. It's just a man. So if you see something like that, don't be surprised. I think that's it with all the gestures I can remember right now. So I hope you like this lesson. If you have any questions, please leave them below and you can ask anything. I will see you next time. Bye. Görüşürüz. Hi, I'm Seda. Welcome to TurkishClass101.com. Today we'll learn about nationalities. Why nationalities? Because it's one of the first things to be asked, or you ask a person when you are visiting a foreign country. And Turkish people are, specifically, I think, curious about other people's nationality. So let's start, okay? Actually, before we start, let's learn about how to ask another person's nationality. And before we do that, I need to remind you something about Turkish grammar. In Turkish, the pronouns are a little bit different than in English. I mean, the you, the second you, the plural you, has two meanings actually. One is you in like more than one person. When you call you to two people, you may say you, or you may say you to one person in the plural form, but you are more formal. if that person is older than you are, or if that person is someone that you don't know very well, or you are in a work environment, you may use the second you. So the first you is sen. It's informal singular, sen. And the second you is siz. Siz. It's either formal singular you or informal plural you. So keep that in mind, and remember that we have two forms of asking where are you from. The first one is nerelisin? Nerelisin? Where are you from? Nerelisin? This is the informal way of asking a person. Nerelisin? And the second one is nerelisiniz? Nerelisiniz? Again, where are you from? Nerelisiniz? This is either asking more than one person, like where are you all from? Or asking one person but that you don't know very well, you know, or you want to be formal for some reason, then you would say nerelisiniz. And if someone in Turkey or someone who is speaking Turkish asks only you nerelisiniz, you would understand that that person is being very polite to you. Since you don't have anybody with you, you are just one person, it means that the speaker is being polite. So keep that in mind. Now we know that we can say nerelisin or nerelisiniz to ask about nationality. And now let's see how we answer. For example, in English, if someone asks where are you from, I would say I am from Turkey, which means that I answer with my country. My answer is my country. Where are you from? Because the question is that. And I would say I am from Turkey. But in Turkish, when someone asks you where are you from, you would say I am Turk. That's how we answer. So let's see Turkish examples. Türküm. Nerelisin? Türküm. I am a Turk. Türküm. Or ben Türküm. Türküm. Again, we'll have to talk about grammar a little bit here. In Turkish, there is no separate verb for to be. In English, it's to be verb is am, is, are, and you can easily spot it in a sentence. I am from Turkey. He is from Turkey. They are from Turkey. You can spot am, is, are there. But in Turkish, we add the to be verb to the noun, to the nationality. In this case, to Turk. So I say Türk. That is the to be verb here. I know it can be a little confusing, but you'll get it when we talk more about other examples. To be verb in Turkish takes the form of a suffix, which is added to the noun. So instead of I am, we say im, yim, yum, yum. So I know, and this is only for I am, not for he is or you are, they are, we are, etc. It's just for I am. How do we decide which one to use? Like, am I gonna use the or yim or yum? For that, you need to know about vowel harmony rules. I'm not gonna go into it right now because it's a complicated subject, but know this, in Turkish we categorize our consonants and vowels, and our vowels are harmonious. We think some vowels are harmonious with specific vowels. For example, a is harmonious with a or I or o or u. Again, e is harmonious with e, I, ö, and ü. So we add, if we are gonna add a suffix to a noun, we look at the vowels and we choose the harmonious vowel suffix to add. It may be confusing at first, as I said it before, but it will get easier. And I already mentioned about yum, yum, yim, yim suffixes as well. What about that y at the beginning? In Turkish, there's another rule. Normally, two vowels can't come together. It has to be one vowel, one constant. One vowel, one constant. One vowel, one constant. Of course, there are exceptions. And when you look at those exceptional words, those words are coming from another language, either French or Arabic or another language, but they are not Turkish-based language words. So that's why out of rule. Every Turkish word has to follow that order. Vowel, constant, or constant, vowel, constant, vowel. If your word ends with a vowel and you have to add a suffix, then it doesn't work because they are both vowels. So you put y, the letter y, ye, in between to make it work. So that's why the different suffixes. So enough with the grammar, right? I know it may be confusing, but relax, you'll get it in a minute. Anyway, let's look at our examples so we get used to the suffixes. For example, if I want to say I am an American, I'm American, I would say Amerikalıyım. Amerikalıyım. Amerikalıyım. Don't forget, this is an answer to where are you from? Like normally you would say I'm from America in English, but in Turkish you say Amerikalıyım. Or İranlıyım. İranlıyım. I'm from Iran. İranlıyım. Or Güney Amerikalıyım. Güney Amerikalıyım. Güney Amerikalıyım. I am from South Africa, or I am South African in English. Another example, Koreliyim. Koreliyim. I am from Korea, or I am Korean. Another example, Çinliyim. Çinliyim. I am from China, or I am Chinese. Çinliyim. Another example, İtalyanım. I am Italian, or I am from Italy. İtalyanım. İtalyanım. So, these are our examples. Please check out our other videos about nationalities, and we have vocabulary lists in the site, so you can learn about your own nationality as well. And before I go, I want to talk about some aspects of these nationalities and Turkish people's mindset. Turkish people are curious about which city you are from. If you're a Turkish person, they need to know that you are from Istanbul, you are from Ankara, you are from Adana. So I don't know why. I've never seen something like that For example, in United States, nobody, you may mention it. You can say, I was born in California or something like that, or I used to live in California. You can say it, but I didn't see people asking, no, where are you from? Like, which city you are from? Like, it's not something they are really curious about. But in Turkey, if you're in a taxi, for example, and you are going somewhere and you are chatting with the driver, and almost all the time, they ask you, where are you from? Like, and you say, I'm from Istanbul, and I'm from Istanbul, actually, and they don't believe it. If you say, I'm from Istanbul, they ask you again. The reason is there are a lot of people living in Istanbul, like 20 million people living in Istanbul, and most of those people came from other cities. Their native, their birthplace, someplace else. But some people like me, I'm born in Istanbul, but it's not enough. Even if you are born in Istanbul, it's not enough. Because if your parents are from another city, for example, if my mom, if my mom is from Izmir, then it means that I'm from Izmir. Or if my father is from Ankara, that means I'm from Ankara, not from Istanbul. Where are my roots coming here, And my parents are also from Istanbul. They were born in Istanbul, and my grandparents are from Istanbul as well. So this fact confuses very many people. So they keep asking, like, no, where are you actually from? And I said, no, I'm from Istanbul. And at some point, I decided to answer that, one of my parents are from, relatives are from Izmir. So I only now answer, yeah, I'm from Istanbul, my parents are from Izmir, and they feel relaxed because they know where I am from. I don't know why the obsession, but you may get, that's why keep in mind that you may get asked a lot of your nationality, which city, which country, why you're here. Turkish people are very curious. Don't be offended by it. It's just the way we are, I think. Okay guys, I hope you liked the lesson. If you have any questions, please leave them below. And if you want to comment about your nationality, or if you have funny stories about nationalities, if you were, in Turkey and you had a, funny experience with the taxi drivers, please leave the comments below, and I will see you next time. Bye! Merhaba, welcome to TurkishClass101.com. I'm Seda. Today we'll learn how to count in Turkish. Don't worry, it's easy. Generally, people get intimidated about learning the numbers, but in Turkish, it's not that complicated. So, let's start, okay? 1 bir 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5 6 6 7 7 8 8 9 9 and 10 on. See, it's easy. Now let's count together. 1 2 3 4 5 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good job. Okay, now you know how to count till 10. And from 10 to 100, it's really easy in Turkish. You just need to learn the 10, 20, 30 numbers. Then you just add the numbers you already know. So let's start with 10. We already know it. 10 is 10. Yes. So if you want to say, for example, 11, we add 10 and 1 together in Turkish. First we say 10, then we say 1, and it makes 11. So there's no new number for 11 as in English. So it is 11, 11, 11, 11. So let's go like that. What was 2 in Turkish? It was 2. 2. 2. So we put 10 on 2. On 2. On 2. Yes, very good. So let's count together from 10 to 19, okay? 11, 11, 11, 12, 12, 12, 12, 13, 14, 14, 14, 15, 15, 15, 15, 16, 16, 16, 16, 17, 17, 17, 17, 18, 18, 18, and the last one is 19. Can you guess? Yes. 19, 19, 19. So let's count a little bit faster together. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Very good. Now this is the rule, and you can use this rule for all the numbers for 25, 37, 48. You just need to know those numbers, then you add the other numbers. Let's learn 20, okay? 20, 20, 20, 20, and 30, 30, 30, 30, and 40, 40, 40, 40, and 50, 50, 50, 50, and 60, 60, 60, 60, 60, and 70, 70, 70, 70, and 80, 80, 80, 80, and the last one is 90, 90, 90, 90. And now let's go over it from 20 to 90, okay? 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and that's it. When you know these numbers, you can make any number you want. Let's try to make 25. We add 20, then 5 together. 25, 25, 25. Okay, let's make 72. How to make it? First 70, then 2. Okay? 72, 72. Or let's make 91. 91, 91, 91. Or 64. 64. 64. Okay, so it's not that bad, right? Okay, very good. Now we need to learn the hundreds and thousands. But don't worry, you just need to learn 2 words. For hundreds, you just need to know 100 because you will edit 1 and 100, 2 and 100, 3 and 100. It's like in English, and for the thousand, you need to learn 1,000, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. So you just need to learn 2 more new words. For 100, we say use, use, use. And I have a funny fact for you. Actually, use means 3 different things in Turkish. One is face. Maybe you know it. Yeah, use. My face, I would say yüzüm. And another word is use means to swim. Yeah, add 100. I know they're not connected at all. They just have the same word for different meanings. We sometimes have that in Turkish. So let's practice together, okay? We know use. So if you want to say 200, we would say 200. Or if you want to say 500, we would say 500. And it goes like that. And for 1,000, we have the word bin. Bin. Bin. And again, bin means also to ride or to, it means to ride. For example, ata binmek, to ride a horse. So if you see bin in a regular sentence, don't get confused about it. But the rest is the same. We add the number, then we say bin, then we make that big number. For example, let's say 5,000, we just add 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. Or let's say 9,000, 9,000, 9,000, 9,000. Okay, now we are, the new year is 2020. So if we want to say 2020, how would we say it? 2020. Okay, let's try some other date. Let's say we want to say 1982. Okay? As a year, it's 1982. We would say 1982. 1982. That's not that hard, right? Okay, before I go, I want to talk to you about something. Sometimes we have some words words related to numbers, but they are not Turkish. They are either Farsi or Arabic. It's coming from the Old Turkish, the Ottoman Turkish. And for example, we have a saying sittin sene, sittin sene. It means that like forever or never. We use it like that in a sentence. For example, in this sense, eğer giderse onu sittin sene göremem. Eğer giderse onu sittin sene göremem. It means if he goes, if she goes, I won't be able to see him or her like forever. In this sense, sittin sene means like never, forever. But in reality, sittin means 60 in Arabic, and we use it like this. Probably in Ottoman times, people knew what sittin means, but in these modern times, not many people know it. But we have that in our language. And another example, the Turkish people love to play tavla. It's a game, backgammon. And when, especially in old man cafes, we call them kahve. They play backgammon a lot, and they have their own special sayings when playing tavla. So, for example, shesh. So one of the words is Turkish, and the other one is Arabic. And I'm not gonna tell you, okay? Just think about it, search a little, and leave the answer below in the comment section that what is shesh, besh, okay? I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I will see you next time. Bye!
Want to speak real Turkish from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at turkishclass101.com.
I'm Seda. Welcome to turkishclass101.com. Today we'll learn how to tell the dates in Turkish. So we already learned about the numbers, and if you didn't watch that video, please check it out. And today we'll add the months and the days, so we'll know how to read the dates, okay? So in Turkish, we start the year from January and it ends in December. This is our day-to-day calendar. But keep in mind that because most of the Turkish people are Muslim, we also keep a Muslim calendar. We don't use that for daily lives, but we use it for our religious holidays. So it changes every year. Sometimes the Ramadan in January, sometimes it's in summertime. So we have the special minister that follows that, so they let us know when it is. And some people know the dates, but the real calendar we use in our daily lives, it's the Gregorian calendar. So we start with January, okay? Now, if you are ready, let's start. Ocak, January. Ocak, Ocak. And this word is, as I told you before, sometimes we have one word for different meanings. Ocak also means the countertop, the oven, the thing that we cook our food. So if you see that in some place, don't get confused. But January is also Ocak. So February is Şubat, Şubat, Şubat. And March is Mart, Mart, Mart. And April is Nisan, Nisan, Nisan. And May is Mayıs, Mayıs, Mayıs. And June is Haziran, Haziran, Haziran. And July is Temmuz, Temmuz, Temmuz. And August is Ağustos. Ağustos. And with the soft G sound, I know that you may have trouble saying it because it's really hard to say it. That it's not a exact sound, but generally it blends with the vowels before and after it. So Ağustos, I make the sound W, but it's like I'm making the A and the U longer when I'm saying it. Ağustos, Ağustos, Ağustos, something like that. So September is Eylül, Eylül, Eylül, and October is Ekim, Ekim, Ekim, and November is Kasım, Kasım, Kasım, and December is Aralık, Aralık, Aralık. So these are our months. Let's say it together. Ocak, Şubat, Mart, Nisan, Mayıs, Haziran, Temmuz, Ağustos, Eylül, Ekim, Kasım, Aralık. These are the 12 months in Turkish. And if you are really into culture, check out the names of Turkish months. Some of them are from the Babylonian calendar actually, as in Tammuz, Temmuz, or Nisan. They have their own myths, and in Turkish we have some residue of those Babylonian culture in our language. So I really like about this when learning and teaching language, to see the bits and pieces of other cultures in the language you are speaking of. So if you are into it, check it out. Okay, let's continue with our lesson. And now you know the months and we need to learn the days. And in Turkish again, because we use the Gregorian calendar, we start our week on Monday. So let's start with it. We say pazartesi, pazartesi, pazartesi, pazartesi. This is actually one word, but it's combined from two words. Pazar, which you will learn in a bit, means Sunday, and tesi actually means ertesi, like the next day. So pazartesi literally means pazar ertesi, the next day of Sunday. So it doesn't have a new name, it's just the next day of Sunday. It's funny, but it's true. So, and Tuesday is salı, salı, salı, salı. And Wednesday is çarşamba, çarşamba, çarşamba, çarşamba. And Thursday is perşembe, perşembe, perşembe, perşembe. And Friday is cuma, cuma, cuma, cuma. And this is also interesting because it's coming. This word is coming from Arabic. The letters C and M, J and M in Turkish. We have, for example, different words with that. Cem, it's a male name that we have in Turkish. Or cami means mosque. Or cemevi, which is a religious place for another sect of Muslims. These all have the same meaning. It means to come together. It's a day of coming together because it's Juma is a special day for Muslims. So this day is named Juma. And also when people say Juma, they may mean to go to a Friday praying. In Muslim cultures, man goes to the mosque to pray together on Friday. They're supposed to go. So if you're in Turkey and if you hear that we are going to Friday, it means that they are going to a Friday prayer in the mosque. So keep in mind. Okay, so let's see the other day. It's Saturday and in Turkish it's Cumartesi. Cumartesi. Cumartesi. And this is the same with Pazartesi. It's Cuma and Ertesi. It means the next day of Friday. Cumartesi. And the last day it's Sunday. Pazar. Pazar. Pazar. Pazar. And another funny thing, Pazar also means a farmer's market. We have Pazars everywhere in every small district of the city. So for example, we have Pazartesi Pazarı. It means that Monday farmer's market. Or we have Pazar Pazarı. It's like Sunday's farmer's market. Or Wednesday Sunday's market. It's Çarşamba Pazarı. These pazars are at the different districts of the city, so you can buy clothes, or it's not just for food, clothes like shoes, whatever you want, you can find it in the farmers market. I really like them. Okay, so we learned about the days of the week, we learned about the months of the year, so we also know the numbers, yeah? And now we can say the dates, right? In Turkish, if you are writing, this is on when writing, if you are writing a specific date, then you need to use capital letters with the month and the day. For example, for Sunday and February. But if you are just saying the month or saying the day without being specific, then you need to use lowercase letter. Okay? Just keep that in mind. So the rule is, first you say the number, which day we are in a month, then the month, then the year. And if you want to add the day, then at the end you say the day, okay? First let's start with, for example, 12th of November 2020. We say 12 Kasım 2020. If you want to say the day as well, for example, 21st of December 2019, Saturday. Am I right? Yeah. Okay. So, 21 Aralık 2019 Cumartesi. Okay, another date. And let's try this. 24th of February 980. 24 Şubat 1984. And let's try another one. 10th of January 1955. 10 Ocak 1955. Okay, now you know the idea. I want you to leave a comment and write that in Turkish, that which day is today when you are watching this video, okay? Just write it in number, month, year, but they all have to be in number and the day, okay? I hope you enjoyed our lessons. I will see you next time. See you, bye! Merhaba, I'm Seda. Ben Seda. Welcome to TurkishClass101.com. Today we'll talk about how to tell the time in Turkish. It's not that complicated. We will learn a couple of rules. Other than that, you only need to know the numbers. So if you don't know the numbers, please study numbers before. We have lessons about numbers as well. So let's start, okay? And before I start, I want to tell you something. In Turkish, we don't have AM or PM phrases. And instead of that, either we understand it from the context, or if we are gonna meet someone and we say, let's meet at 7 tomorrow, you know, the person may not understand if it's in the morning or in the evening. So we just say those words. We say evening or morning. We add it next to the time. So we make sure that the person understands and doesn't wait for us for long hours. So first let's go over on that. I have my notes. We have, if you want to say evening, you say akşam, akşam, akşam. For morning, you need to say sabah, sabah, sabah. For afternoon, sometimes we say, for example, 2 in the afternoon, we say öğleden sonra, öğleden sonra, öğleden sonra. And we have a specific time we talk about. It's like between after 4 p.m. till 6:30. It's a specific time for us. We say akşam üzeri, akşam üzeri. It's something like about to be the evening. It's like it's between afternoon, evening, that time scale. Akşam üzeri. And if we talk about after 12 a.m., for example, this is for after 11 a.m. I'm sorry, 11 p.m. From 11 p.m. till 4 a.m. in the morning, we say gece or gece yarısı. It means like it's between, I don't know, there's no such a thing in English, exact thing. It's, as I said, between 11 p.m. till 4 a.m. in the morning, gece. For example, if I want to say 11, but not in the morning, it's 11 p.m., I would say gece 11, gece 11, something like that. So keep that in mind, and you don't have to say them, but as I said before, this is for making sure that the person understands what time you are talking about. It would be so much easier if we had AM and PM, but we don't. What can you do? Okay, let's start. First, let's start with asking the question, right? What time is it? It is very simple. It's saat kaç? Saat kaç? Saat kaç? And funny thing, kaç means in English you can use it for how much, how many, or in this case what time is it, and we use it for questions. It's like a question mark, question tag, but it also mean to run away, something like that. It's a verb, and when you say saat kaç, it also sounds to our ears something like clock, run away clock. And this is a children's joke. If someone says saat kaç and they think that it's like clock, run away, and they say saat kaçmıyor, meaning something like the clock is not running away. It's when you translate it, these things don't doesn't sound funny, but in the language of small children, they are supposed to be funny. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, so you know how to ask the question saat kaç, and the answer, if we are talking about like 1, 2, 3, 4, it's very, very easy. You can either just say the numbers without saying anything. You can, if someone says saat kaç, you could just say One, for example, bir, bir, bir. Or if you want a proper sentence, it is saat bir, saat bir. Let's say I want to tell it's 3. Can you say? Let's wait. You know the numbers, yes. Let's wait a second. Yeah. Okay, that's it. Okay, I'm saying it. Saat 3. Saat 3. Saat 3. It's easy. It's saat 3, saat 4, saat 5. Just that. You don't even have to say saat in this sense. And with the half an hour, for example, 1:30, 2:30, it's again very simple. You just add buçuk. Buçuk means half. Buçuk, buçuk. It's a funny word when you hear it. Yeah, I know. Buçuk, buçuk, half. So, if you want to say, for example, it's 7:30, we would say 7 buçuk, 7 buçuk, 7 buçuk. Or if you want to say 5:30, we would say, what would we say? 5 buçuk, 5 buçuk, 5 buçuk. Okay, now let's try 11:30. Let's wait a couple of seconds. I'm giving you time. Yes, time. 11:30. What was 11 in Turkish? 11 buçuk. 11 buçuk. Saat kaç? 11 buçuk. So that's it. Already you can say the 1, 2, 3 or 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. It's easy. Now comes the tricky part. If you want to talk about how many past time and to time, I couldn't find the words to explain it, but I will in a bit. Let's check my example. Okay. If you want to talk about past the hour, we have a formula, we have a rule. First we put the hour, okay? First the hour. Then we add some letters. It's either I, U, or Ü. What decides which letter will go there? It's Turkish vowel harmony rules. I'm sorry, I know it's a little bit complicated, but you have to know this rule. This rule goes everywhere. When you want to speak Turkish, you have to think about Turkish vowel harmony rules all the time. So, according to the word, we add one of these letters. And don't forget, in Turkish, normally as a rule, two vowels can't come together. So, A and A can't come together. If they come together, you have to put a buffer letter in between. In this case, we have to add the letter Y, in between. So, if our number ends with a vowel, in the case of, for example, 2, so we have to add the buffer letter Y in between because of the rule. And you may ask, Seda, then why you have the word time or clock with two vowel letters, saat? That would be a very good question. It's because some of the words are coming from different languages. In this case, saat is coming from the language Arabic. And those words that are coming from other languages doesn't have to follow the rules of Turkish. So you don't try to make this rule to every word you see in Turkish. I know this doesn't help, but it gets more, it gets easier in time. Don't worry, okay? Turkish is a little bit hard at first, but it gets easier because you get the idea where to put what, and it won't be this scary after some point. So the rule is you add the hour, then one of the letters I said, then the minutes, then you have to say geçiyor, geçiyor, geçiyor. I will put the formula here or here somewhere. You will see it. And geçiyor means it's a conjugated version of the verb to pass, to pass. So the minutes are passing the hour, that's the idea. And the conjugation is in third singular form of present continuous tense. Geçiyor. So let's give you an example. For example, let's say 10 past 3. You can either start with saat again, you can say saat, or you can just say the number, doesn't matter, sounds the same. So saat 3 10 geçiyor. I add ü here because of the Turkish vowel harmony rules. So saat 3 10 geçiyor. Saat 3'ü 10 geçiyor. And sometimes I get the questions of why you are not saying some vowels. Normally, when I speak clearly and slowly, I would say geçiyor. But in my daily life, I would little bit omit, little bit swallow the last letter of R. Okay, I would just say geçiyor, as if there is no R there. So when you are listening to some serious, some native speakers, you would wonder where is this last letter. So the last letter, I just swallow it. I don't know, the daily language is a little bit different. So, okay, let's give you another example. Okay, perfect example. Let's say it's 15 or quarter past 5. So we, as in English, we have a separate word for quarter. It is çeyrek, çeyrek, çeyrek, çeyrek. So we either can say 15 or we can say quarter. So let's try with both. Saat 5'i 15 geçiyor. Saat 5'i 15 geçiyor. Saat 5'i 15 geçiyor. Or we can say saat 5'i çeyrek geçiyor. Saat 5'i çeyrek geçiyor. Saat 5'i çeyrek geçiyor. Let's give you another example. It's 20 past, I couldn't find time. It's 20 past 7, let's say that. Let's wait a little. Can you guess it? Can you tell me? 20 past 7. Saat 7'yi, the buffer letter, 20 geçiyor. Saat 7'yi 20 geçiyor. Saat 7'yi 20 geçiyor. That's it. That's the whole rule, okay? Now you got this, and let's go over to the time that the time I couldn't say it. To the time, to tell the time to the hour, the 2 hours, as in 10 to 5, as in 5 to 6, things like that. Okay, let's start. We have a rule here as well. Now we add again the hour first, then we either add the letter e, or A, the letter A, then we would add minute and we would say var. Okay? Again, we would add the hour, either a or a, according to the vowel harmony rules. And don't forget, if we need the buffer letter, we add the buffer letter y, the y here as well. And we would add the minute and we say var. Do you remember what var means? Var means either have, has got, or there is, there are. So when I translate it, for example, it's 10 to 5, in Turkish it would translate something like there is 10 to 5, something like that. Okay? It's not that complicated, you need just practicing a little, okay? Let's practice together. Let's say it's 10 to 5 together. 5'e 10 var. 5'e 10 var. 5'e 10 var. And let's say it's quarter to 7. Again, we could say 15, but generally for time we would say quarter. So it's çeyrek. 7'ye çeyrek var. 7'ye çeyrek var. 7'ye çeyrek var. Okay, let's say 25 to 9. Okay? 9'a 25 var. 9'a 25 var. 9'a 25 var. That's it. Okay, let's practice together. Now I'll tell you a time and you'll try to say it, okay? It's 12:30. 12:30. 12:30. And a note, we have a special saying for 12:30 in Turkish. You would just say yarım. Yarım. That's it, yarım. You can use it. You can either say 12:30, 12:30, or you could just say yarım. Both are the same, okay? Okay, I hope you liked it. And I want you to leave some comments and tell me what time is it right now when you are writing, okay? See you guys. Merhaba, I'm Seda. Ben Seda. Welcome to TurkishClass101.com. Today we'll talk about the costs of living in Turkey. And Turkey is a very big country, so the costs are generally different in big cities and the small villages. And the rents and the earnings and a lot of things differ. So I will use Istanbul as an example. Istanbul is not the capital but the biggest city in Turkey, and around 20 million live in Istanbul, so it will give you a rough idea. Istanbul is one of the, I think, the most expensive city as well. But if you're just visiting, this is an important knowledge. But if you are planning to live in Turkey, generally in Istanbul the incomes are also higher. So the costs are higher, but the incomes are higher. And when you go to other cities, the incomes is a little bit less than you can earn in Istanbul, but your costs are also a little bit less. So let's start with our costs. It's a good information. So let's start with rent. So in Istanbul there are two sides, one Anatolian side and one European side, and we have 3 bridges and one under tunnel that you can go by car, and one subway goes from underneath the Bosphorus, so you can have a lot of ways to crisscross the sides, and it's literally one side is in Asia, the other side is in Europe. So it's, I think, one of the, I don't know how many other countries have that. Like we have two continents in one city and we have bridges connect them. So that's a little amazing, I think. Anyway, in general, the European side in rent base is higher comparing to Asian side. But it depends actually, because the central places are much more expensive than the the faraway places, and it depends on the how big you want your apartment and how many rooms. The buildings differ from the new buildings are more expensive than the old buildings, and there are a lot of constructions because of the earthquake. The buildings are getting renewed constantly, so it depends on a lot of factors. That's why it's a little hard to give an exact number, but it starts with from 1,000 Turkish liras to, it can go to 10,000, which is very expensive, but the range is that big. So you can pick a place according to your income, and keep in mind that 1 Turkish lira is around 5.7 American dollar. So you can make your math. And generally the minimum wage in minimum income limit is it's around 2,000, I think 2,300 Turkish liras, which is very low, lower than the survival needs. So people are working on it, I think, or should work on it, but that's the minimum wage. And the rents are starting from 1,000, so you can imagine that it will be really hard to see the end of the month for a lot of people. So if you are coming here and you want to rent a house, you should know that in Istanbul, generally in Turkey, you rent apartments. Houses are very expensive. Maybe in faraway villages you can rent cheap houses, but in cities you can't just rent a house. It would be very, very expensive, and you couldn't find a lot of houses anyway. We generally live in apartment buildings, and the houses you can rent them from, there are a couple of websites you can check out, Hürriyet Emlak, Milliyet Emlak, and sahibinden.com. You can check out these websites, or you can use, I think, Airbnb for renting houses as well. But I don't know, if you're gonna stay for a couple of days, you could go to a hotel or you can use Airbnb. But if you're gonna stay here permanently, using local rental agencies or these rental websites in Turkish would help you, I think, better income wise. So check them out. And this is for rent. Okay, let's see our utilities. Okay, in general you have to, in Turkey you have to pay for water. This is not for drinking water. You have to pay for drinking water as well, but this is for utility, for the water coming from the pipes. We don't drink water from pipes. They are not clean. We in cities at least we get bottled waters, and you have to pay for water, pay for electricity, pay for heating. It's generally cold. We have around 4 seasons, so winter time it's getting really cold, and we have a fee for apartments. Cleaning and electricity, stuff like that. And we have, let me check, yeah, that's it. So for water, it's one of the cheapest one. This is also depend on how much you use it, but it goes from 50 Turkish liras to 200 Turkish liras for water for a month, because it depends, you know, if you are one person in a house, it's of course you would use less water, and if you are working whole day, you are not at home, you would use less water. But if you are like 4 member family, then you would use more. So from 50 Turkish liras to 200 Turkish liras. For apartment fees, if you're living in a single, you know, small apartment, the fees can go as low as 20-30 Turkish liras. But if you are living in luxury compounds, it can go to like 500 Turkish liras. So that's for apartments pay. You pay for apartments. They take care of your apartment cleaning. They take care of your trash, and some people come, you know, at some time and collect your trash, and they take care of your sometimes security. If it's getting if you pay more, generally security includes, and you things like that. You have to pay for apartment. And heating is killing us. It's so expensive, and we generally in Istanbul, and not all the cities in Turkey, but in big cities, we use natural gas, and it's really expensive. It's again up you know, depends on how much you use it. If you're not at home all day and you're just running the heats only for a couple of hours, of course it's not gonna get, you know, get too high. But if you're using it all day long, then it would get from, I think, let me check my numbers. Yeah, minimum it's around 100 Turkish liras. For 2 it goes up to 800 Turkish liras. So it depends on how much you use it. And in some apartments you can control your heating, like you turn it on and turn it off. But in some apartments, the apartment control it, so you don't have any saying on it. So it's like a shared heating. So they calculate the amount for the whole apartments, and then they just divide it to the number. So it depends on the building as well, and how good is the, you know, apartments physical properties. It depends on a lot of factors, but that's the range. And for water heating, some apartments use natural gas for water heating. Some apartments use electricity. So it depends on the apartment as well. And for electricity, it wasn't that expensive, but this year it's much more expensive. So it again depends on how much you use it, but it ranges from, I think it's minimum 100 Turkish liras you get for electricity. So I don't know how much that means. You can calculate the amount, but that's for the utilities and rent. So let's check out some vocabulary. We have rent, right? Rent is in Turkish kira, kira, kira. We have bill, it's fatura, fatura, fatura. And we have electricity bill, for example. It is elektrik faturası. Elektrik faturası. Elektrik faturası. We have water bill. It's su faturası. Su faturası. Su faturası. And we have natural gas bill. La la la. Doğal gaz faturası. Doğal gaz faturası. Doğal gaz faturası. And we have the apartment pay, as I told you before. It is aidat. Aidat. Aidat. So you have your all vocabulary information for rents and utilities. Okay, so let's see what you need in Istanbul. You need to know how much you will spend on transportation, right? If you are living, most of the cities have this card. I don't have it with me right now. I will show you. But we have cards called, if you are living in Istanbul, it's called Istanbul card. If you are living in Izmir, it's called accordingly. And all the cities have their own cards. And you need to use this for public transportation. You can just pay independently, but it would be much more expensive. And let's check the fees, okay? Let's go and come back. As you can see, there is three different type of cards. One is full fare, the other is student card, and the other is teacher or social card. The fees are different. And there is also a monthly card which is called blue card. And the blue card prices are also different according to the card type. And you will see here the transfer fares for buses and metro buses. Metro bus is a specific type of bus separate from the traffic lane, which is good because you don't get stuck in the traffic. And you see per transfer how much does it cost. And as you can see, you can also get a free ticket, free electronic ticket, but it's more expensive. So if you are planning to travel a lot in Istanbul or in other cities, it's better to get a card to use it. Okay, so you saw the fees, and it's much more, it's smarter to use Istanbul card. You can just get smart Istanbul cards from bus stops, or you can just order online. That's okay, and use it. And there are also sometimes free passes when you use it. For example, in a time limit, you use the subway, you use the bus and the ferry. Then some of them goes on a free pass. You don't pay anything. But if you don't have the card, you have to pay for them separately. And for students, as I told you before, for students it's so inexpensive, so it's better to get Istanbul card or another city card to use the public transportation. And for Istanbul, the public transportation, I think it's the best way, because it's a very crowded city, and there's a lot of traffic jam. And if you use your own car, rent your own car, it's not a very good idea to rent a car in Istanbul. The parking is a problem. You have to pay for parking, and traffic is a problem, and you would go crazy. So use public transportation. If there's a traffic jam, then you could use the train, the subway, or you could take the ferry, or you could just walk. It's much more better to be stuck in traffic. So if you have to go somewhere, you don't want to use the public transportation, you would use taxi, of course. And I think it's global. Taxis are expensive everywhere, right? So in Istanbul, it's also expensive to travel with taxi, and most of the time you could, stuck in traffic with taxi. But you need to know the numbers, so you could, some taxi drivers, they took the long way because they assume that you are foreigners. Not all of them, but some of them, they assume that you are foreigners and you don't know the way, you don't know the road. So if the way is, for example, from here to here, instead of going like that, they go like that. So it's a long way and it's more money. Shame, but some people do that. So for that, there's an app in Turkey. It's called, I think, Bitaxi. Yeah, Bitaxi. You could set your location, and from that location you can see the taxis nearby. It's like kind of Uber, but not it's for taxis. You see the closest taxis, you choose one, and you also choose the destination, so you can see the destination on the map. Okay, so you see the destination on the map, and you can also pay with a credit card, I think. So it's good that if you don't have cash with you, you can pay with the credit card. So it's maybe more secure for foreigners to use that. But even if you use regular taxis, most of them are okay. But you would maybe ask local how to go there, how far is it before you jump on the taxi, so you have an idea, or use just your map on your smartphone to see how much does it take to go from some location to other location, so you have a general idea. And I think the taxi, let me check my notes. Yes, it starts with around 5-6 Turkish liras. It starts with that number, then it adds up in every kilometer. It adds up around 3, I think. Yeah, it's 3 Turkish liras for per kilometer. So you can just look at the map, you know, do your math. So we cover your transportation, right? Let's cover some transportation vocabulary. For taxis, we say taxi. Easy, right? Taxi. We just say taxi. For bus, we say otobüs. Otobüs. Otobüs. For tren, I'm sorry. For train, we say tren. Tren. Tren. And we have some jitneys, like these small, bigger taxi thing that you share your taxi, and we call them dolmuş. And we have these minibuses. They go like crazy, but they take you everywhere, and they're very cheap in general. We call them minibüs. And we have some ferries, because Istanbul is surrounded by sea, and for ferries we say vapur. And let's check. Yeah. For subway we say metro. And for this is just for Istanbul. Normally train is tren, as I told you before. But for Istanbul, because we have those under subway kind of thing between two sides of Istanbul, from European side to Asian side, that was called Marmaray, because the sea surrounding Istanbul is Marmara Sea, Marmara Denizi. That's why it was called Marmaray. And now they connected the train lines in both areas, in Anatolian part and European part, through Marmaray. So the whole train line is called Marmaray right now. Okay? This is just for Istanbul, but keep that in mind. So you know all about transportation, and let's go talk about eating. Okay, if you are living here, you would probably cook at home, so you would go to a grocery market or farmers market. There are a lot of farmers market in Turkey and in Istanbul as well. In every part of city there are different farmers market in different days. So generally farmers market are cheaper than grocery stores, and you know the food expenses are changing all the time. But if you're gonna cook, it's gonna be around, if you're one person, it's probably the groceries go around at least 300 Turkish liras per person. But again, it depends on how many food you buy, what kind of foods you buy, how much do you cook? I couldn't speak. How much do you cook? So it depends on a lot of factors, but let's say around 300 Turkish liras. But if you go out, you should go out. Turkish food is really, really, I would say, I don't know, number one. I really love it. You can find everything. I don't think anybody wouldn't find anything that at least would, I don't know. I'm speechless. Turkish food is good. And if you go out, you can find even the cheapest. We have simit. It's like some kind of bagel, but much delicious than bagel. It goes like 2 liras, 3 liras. You can get simit and ayran. It's a yogurt drink, ayran. You would pay 5-6 liras for that, and you would done with for breakfast, or you would done with for I don't know, like lunch, for a couple of Turkish liras. But besides street food, you should try street food, but you should be, you should talk to locals and ask them where to eat the street food. That would be safer. And mid-range restaurants would go like, I think, 30-40 Turkish liras per person. You could have a full meal with the the soup and the meat and some vegetables. And after that, for high class restaurants, you could pay like 200, 300, 500 even Turkish liras for specific foods. It goes forever, I think, according to your taste and according to your budget. So you should be, the food part is the easiest part to arrange your budget. I think that in every budget there is something good to eat, so it would be easier. So we covered the food, we covered utilities, we covered the housing, we covered transportation. Yeah, now let's talk about some fun activities. For example, if you want to go to a movie, the regular movies would start, I think, let me check, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think 3D movies are the blockbusters, are the most expensive ones. They start around 30-35 Turkish liras per person, and it can goes a little bit more expensive according to the movie theater. But there are like independent movies, independent movie theaters. There you can find tickets for even 10 Turkish liras, and some days are cheaper for students as well. If you are planning to study here, get a student card, because transportation, museums, or like some movie theaters are have discounts for students. So that's for the movies. For theaters, it's again, I think it starts from 20-30 Turkish liras. So if you think like euro, and if you change it to euro and all these prices to USD, it's gonna be really cheap. But if you think, if you are earning Turkish liras, that you can make a budget thinking these numbers. And yeah, concerts are, I think, a little bit more expensive. And I think it starts around it starts from 100 Turkish liras. It changes according to the, depending on the concert and the place. Maybe some concert would be even cheaper, but generally it would start from 100 Turkish liras, I think. And museums. Some museums are free. You can just go and have a walk and check it out. And some museums you have to pay a fee, and the fee can go up to, I think, 80 Turkish liras. That's the most, I think, one of the most expensive fees for museums. Generally, the museums are not that expensive in Turkey. So I think we are done with the costs. And let's talk about some fun leisure activity vocabulary as well before we go, and you'll be covered. So for museums, we would say müze, müze, müze. And for concerts, we would say konser, konser, konser. And for theaters, we would say tiyatro, teatro, tiyatro. And for movie theaters, we would say cinema, cinema, cinema. And let's see, for books, we would say kitap, kitap. And I didn't talk about the book fees, but it can start from $10, 10 Turkish liras. From it can go to 50, 60 Turkish liras if the book is really high quality with pictures, with good quality paper and like hardcover. It can go like that. And I think the ticket. We forgot the ticket. The ticket is bilet. Bilet. Bilet. Yay! Now you know all about the costs for living in Turkey, especially in Istanbul. So why don't you visit? Have you ever visited Istanbul or Turkey? How much did you spend? What did you find it expensive or cheap? Please leave some comments below and let me know. See you guys. Bye. Merhaba, ben Seda. Hello, I'm Seda. Welcome to TurkishClass101.com. Today we'll talk about the questions you get asked during your visit to Turkey in customs or immigration. So let's start, okay? Actually, the thing is, it's a little bit weird for me because I've never heard these questions in Turkish. I know the English ones because when I visit somewhere, I got asked in English, but never in Turkish. I just showed my passport since I'm a Turkish citizen and, you know, came to the country. So these are also new for me as well. Okay, let's start with the first one. Yeah, that's the basic one actually. Ziyaret amacınız nedir? Ziyaret amacınız nedir? What's the purpose of your visit? Ziyaret amacınız nedir? And you can answer this as like business or pleasure or holiday. You can say iş için geldim. I came for business. İş için geldim. Or you can say tatil için geldim. I came for holiday. Tatil için geldim. So these questions are a little nerve breaking, right? I never liked passport controls. Anyway, okay. You can get asked about how many days you'll be staying in the country. So, ülkede kaç gün kalacaksınız? Ülkede kaç gün kalacaksınız? So, this is, as I said, how many days you will be staying in the country. So you can say 3, 4, 5, 10. It's up to your, you know, duration actually. Like you can say 3 gün kalacağım. That's how we write actually, but when we say it with the future tense, we just say kalacağım. Kalacağım, as if we don't say kalacağım. Those are all the letters in the word, but we say kalacağım. 3 gün kalacağım. So let's see the next question. Yanınızda ne kadar para var? How much money do you have with you? So sometimes they ask this question. I don't know why. Maybe like, do you have enough to stay in the country? So yanınızda kaç para var? Yanınızda kaç para var? Millions of dollars. No. You can say, you know, how much money you have. You can say I have a credit card, for example. Let's say that in Turkish. Kredi kartım var. Kredi kartım var. And let's say I have 1,000 Turkish liras. 1000 liram var. 1000 liram var. 1000 liram var. So that's it. Let's see the next question. This is also very common. Where will you be staying during your visit? So, nerede kalacaksınız? Nerede kalacaksınız? Nerede kalacaksınız? So these questions are polite. Like nerede kalacaksınız? Kaç paranız var? Things like that. But the police officers, they may ask the third person in polite, not impolite, but like more casual one. So it's a little bit more intimidating. So keep that in mind. So you can say, I will stay at a hotel, let's not give any brands. Otelde kalacağım. Otelde kalacağım. Something like that. Nerede kalacaksınız? Otelde kalacağım. This is also the same. I wouldn't say kalacağım like that, the proper one. I would just say kalacağım. Otelde kalacağım. Like that. Let's see the next questions. What is your occupation? Ne iş yapıyorsunuz? Ne iş yapıyorsunuz? Ne iş yapıyorsunuz? So you may answer like doktorum, I'm a doctor, or I'm an engineer, mühendisim. Those are the cliches, right? Or I'm a teacher, öğretmenim. So if you don't know about the occupations, you can check out the lessons. We have some lessons on that as well. Let's see the next question. Is there anyone coming to pick you up? Sizi almaya biri gelecek mi? Sizi almaya biri gelecek mi? Sizi almaya biri gelecek mi? You can say yes. And in that case, that they would probably ask like who? And maybe from hotel or from your business partner, or I don't know, something like that. If you say no, they may ask like, then how are you planning to go there? Then they can say oraya nasıl gideceksiniz? Oraya nasıl gideceksiniz? Oraya nasıl gideceksiniz? And you may answer like by taxi or by bus. We have a lot of public transportation options, so you can use the bus. So you can say otobüsle gideceğim. Otobüsle gideceğim. Or taksi ile gideceğim. Taksi ile gideceğim. This is the same. Gideceğim. Gideceğim. The future tense. We say gideceğim. That's it. Gideceğim. So let's see the next question. Do you have a return ticket? That's the question they love, huh? Are you gonna stay here forever or are you gonna go back to your country? They ask this. So, dönüş biletiniz var mı? Right? That's the question. Yes. Dönüş biletiniz var mı? Dönüş biletiniz var mı? No. I will be here forever. Dönüş biletiniz var mı? You better say yes. If you say no, they may give you a hard time. I don't know. Okay. If you don't have, you don't have. What can you do? So you can say evet var or hayır yok. I haven't got it yet. Something like that. Henüz almadım. Henüz almadım. Henüz almadım. So let's see. Do you have anything to declare? Are you bringing something to our country? So gümrük için bildireceğiniz bir şey var mı? Gümrük için bildireceğiniz bir şey var mı? Gümrük için bildireceğiniz bir şey var mı? Gümrük için bildireceğiniz bir şey var mı? That's really fast. But maybe you can catch some words. I don't know. So you can say yes or no. Actually, I don't know what are the rules about the stuff you have to declare, but they give you, before landing in, they give you a paper about what to declare, what not to declare. So you can read that and you can prepare accordingly. And yeah, this is also very common. Can I see your flight ticket and hotel reservation? They want to see that you are legit, so they may want to see that. Uçak biletinizi ve otel rezervasyonunuzu görebilir miyim? Uçak biletinizi ve otel rezervasyonunuzu görebilir miyim? One more time, slowly. Uçak biletinizi ve otel rezervasyonunuzu görebilir miyim? So that's it, guys. I hope if you come to visit Turkey, you'll have a very easy time to get through the customs and like the passport control and have no trouble, but you will impress the police officer with your Turkish and have fun visiting here. I think that's it, guys. I will see you next time. Leave some comments. Have you ever been to Turkey? Have you ever visited any Turkish city? Which cities did you like? You liked, or like what did you like? What didn't you like about Turkey? Leave some experiences down there, and I will see you next time. Bye. Hoşça kalın. Görüşürüz. Ben Seda. Hello. I'm Seda. Welcome to TurkishClass101.com. Today we'll talk about ordinal numbers, which are like first, second, third in English. So before we start, let's remember the regular numbers. We have lessons about regular numbers. If you don't know them, if you didn't study before, please study the numbers, regular numbers. Then come back to this lesson. So this will be just a reminder, so I'll say it quickly. So let's start counting together. Do you remember? First one. 1 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. One more time. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So these are basic numbers. And as a rule, to make the regular numbers into ordinal numbers, we add suffix inci. So, for example, for 1, 1, we add inci. Birinci, meaning the first. But you know that we have Turkish vowel harmony rules. So you need to study that before adding any suffix to a Turkish word, because that main rule decides which kind of vowel will go into the suffix. So in this case, we can say inci, we can add inci, ıncı, uncu, or üncü. So we have 4 basic suffixes for making ordinal numbers. So, for example, for 1, 1 inci, for 3, 3, 3 üncü, for 5, 5 inci, for 9, 9 uncu. So you can hear the sounds, they follow the harmony rules. But I know it's a little bit complicated, but we have a lot of out of rule things for ordinal numbers. In Turkish, I told this before, in Turkish, 2 vowels can't come together. Like A and A, E and E, they can't come together. If there are words with 2 vowels together, they probably came from another language, as in I gave this example as in saat means clock or time, which came from Arabic. Other than that, Turkish words can't be 2 vowels together. So we add buffer letters in between. If we are gonna add a suffix starting with a vowel and we have a word ending with a vowel, we need to add a buffer letter in between. These buffer letters are ye, she, se, ne. Let me check if I forget one. Yeah, no. So I have a trick for you actually. We have a word yaşasın. Hey! It means like hey! Like something like that. Hooray or hooray, hey! It means that yaşasın, hey! You're so happy and you're celebrating. And when you take the vowels out of that verb, yaşasın, ye, she, se, and ne are left. So these are the buffer letters. Maybe you can remember like that. And so this was it. And we have other kind of out of rules, out of rule numbers with dört, 4. Besides vowel harmony rules, we have consonant rules as well. Some hard sound consonants get softened, or some soft sound vowels harden sometimes. So in dört, t is hard. So when we add the suffix üncü here, dört, üncü, we make the T D, so we can say it easily. That's the actually only reason. Dörtüncü, it's hard to say with R and T and Ü, like it's all over here. Dörtüncü, it's hard to say, so we soften it like dördüncü, dördüncü. Instead of dört, when we add the suffix, we say dörd with D. So don't worry, I will say all the numbers one by one. I'm just talking about the rules now. So we have 2 more out of rule thing. One is with 7, the other is with 6. I have to check. One is with 7, the other is with 6. 7 is yedi. It ends with E already, like I, the letter I. So, you know, we need to add the suffix inci. So instead of add the suffix inci and put a buffer letter, we thought we already have E over there, so we need to assume that that's the part of the suffix, so we just add nci. So we make yedinci. Just we drop the E from the suffix, we add it to the yedi. Yedinci. Yedinci. And it's the same with the 6. So we have altı as 6. Altı. Instead of adding ıncı, we drop ı because we already have the ı over in the 6, and we make altıncı. Okay, now you know all about the rules. Let's say the numbers together, okay? Birinci. Birinci. First. Birinci. İkinci. İkinci. Second. İkinci. Üçüncü. Üçüncü. Third. Üçüncü. Dördüncü. Dördüncü. Fourth. Dördüncü. Beşinci. Beşinci. Fifth. Beşinci. Altıncı. Altıncı. Altıncı. The sixth. Altıncı. Yedinci. Yedinci. Seventh. Yedinci. Sekizinci. Sekizinci. Eighth. Sekizinci. Dokuzuncu. Dokuzuncu. Ninth. Dokuzuncu. Onuncu. Onuncu. Onuncu. Tenth. Okay, that's it. That's from 1 to 10. And let's say it a little bit faster together. Birinci, ikinci, üçüncü, dördüncü, beşinci, altıncı, yedinci, sekizinci, dokuzuncu, onuncu. That's it, guys. And before I go, I want to give you a little bit cultural insight about something about ordinal numbers. It's not about ordinal numbers, but there's a sentence about ordinal numbers. So I'm gonna say the sentence, then I will explain what it is in our culture. Birinci cemre havaya, ikinci cemre suya, üçüncü cemre toprağa. It literally means that the first cemre means like fire, emerald, the residue from a fire, something like that. It comes from Arabic, so it's something like the first fire to the air, the second fire to the water, and the third fire to the earth, to the soil. So why we use this? We have specific times. This cemre, this fire, it lets us know that the spring is coming. So I think there are different opinions about where this belief coming from, but the one I like is about shamanic beliefs. Like the cemre, the fire, actually this, when you look up the skies and some stars, when they're a little bit far away, the wavelengths a little bit longer, the stars looks reddish. So they look like burning coal, burning fire, something like that. And when they are on the sky, on those specific days, that it says it tells the time. Actually, when you look at the sky and watch the stars, you can tell what time is it, the month, the season. You can tell a lot by looking at the stars. So they look at the star and they see those stars and they say, the spring is coming. And when you see the first one, they say the fire falls to the air and it warms the air. Then the second star, second fire falls into the water and the waters get warmer. And the third one falls into the earth, to the soil, and it warms the soil, and then spring is here. I really like it, and every year we say that sentence to let us know that spring is coming. So that's it, guys. I hope you liked the lesson. Please leave some comments, and I don't know if you are confused about the numbers or the rules. Please leave some comments, and I will see you next time. Bye. Görüşürüz.
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.